Whether you're listening to this on your way to work or maybe you're unwinding after a long day, hello and welcome back to the TallTales Podcast, where each episode we have an emerging artist on and we talk to them about their life as a creator. As always, we are your hosts. I'm Angus.
And I'm Becky, and in today's episode we're joined by designer and 3D printer extraordinaire Ethan O'Connell. With him we're going to be talking about being a designer, how we got into 3D printing, and basically everything practical in a workshop, just in general, I think. So welcome, Ethan,
Hey,
to TallTales Podcast.
How are you?
Yeah, good. Really good. I'm enjoying the hot weather.
It's pretty nice, isn't it?
Hot weather. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got a little bit chilly. It's not what it was the past few days.
It rained like
us as weathermen.
Yesterday?
Huh?
Was it rained 2 days ago?
Yeah, absolutely tipped it down yesterday.
Thunder and lightning as well.
Yeah, I've been moving most of the stuff out of my house.
Have
and,
you?
All my big coats have gone now. So
Oh, really? Are you
and,
filtering through all your stuff?
Jacket, yeah.
Oh.
For people that don't know, we're leaving with Ethan next year.
Mm.
So,
we're all undergoing sort of moving out processes.
Yeah, we are. We move out in a few weeks, don't we?
Starting today, actually.
Starting today?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm binning everything I don't need, so all my friendships that I don't want, they're going out the window. So some people in this room didn't make the cut.
Charming.
But,
Let's bring them all on the TallTales Podcast first.
Yeah.
And then he's
And
getting
then
rid
I'm
of
just-
them. So
yeah. Why do you think ask Becky first?
charming. Anyway, I won't be coming back.
No.
Okay, so for listeners that don't know you, Ethan, tell us a bit about yourself and what you do, why you got into it. Just for everyone at home who's listening.
Yeah, so similar story to a lot of the people who've been on here. I'm doing the same placement year, but for me it's been a lot more industry based. So I've been less on the enterprise, start your own business side, and more working with the company, which has been really nice. I've learned a lot from it. And yeah, it's an ironwork company, so I've been doing sort of general product design and product engineering, I guess. And just fleshing out the kinks, really.
Yeah. You were quite lucky out of the lot of us with your placement, and you've had like a good run of it, I think, this year. What do you think's been your favourite part of the whole thing of actually working in industry? Because for the rest of us, we've kind of had to freelance, work our way through it a little bit, but you've had a completely different story to the rest of the people that have come onto the podcast.
You know, I think for me, it's being able to see it's basically based in in I think 1 or 2 units on an industrial kind of site in Penistone, which sounds kind of boring, but because it's quite condensed and it's quite a small workforce, you get to see everything about the product. So I'll be sat in the office, I'll hear the office guys take the call, and then I can go to the workshop, see it be made, see it be wired, see it be packed, have it sent off. I see the whole process. So for me, that's really cool because I've never seen that so holistically before.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so what part of that process were you in all of that? Were you the beginning, the end, the middle?
Everything.
The whole thing.
The very beginning in terms of the design of the new product. I'm doing an outdoor light. I forgot to say that. They've only done interior lighting, so I'm doing an outdoor one.
Oh, nice.
So we've been going through sort of the design and iteration stage for the whole time. But there's been tweaks that I've sort of helped to make to some of their previous products to streamline them a bit, which has been really nice. I've made some tooling for the fly press to shave, hours off of the production time and stuff like that. So a bit of everything.
That's
make their business better.
Yeah.
This is booming.
You've come in, you've been like, you know what you need? Outdoor lights.
Right. So I've got a little meeting for you. This is shit. This is shit. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. Get them rid of them.
Change this, and this.
Yeah, best thing to do.
That's quite rewarding though, to see that you've come in and you've actually made some sort of change to the whole process of, I don't know if I can say the name of the company. Is it Nigel Tyas? Yeah.
Nigel Tyas Ironwork, yeah.
So you've done him a solid.
I like to think so. They've massively helped me as well. It's been a two-way thing. I think we've both got something massive out of it. But yeah, as you say, massively rewarding. They
Yeah.
went to an event called Made Beautifully Here recently, and one of the fire pits that I designed was there, and they were saying everyone was coming up and talking about it, and it was like the focal point of most customers, and like that was baffling to hear that. It was like really cool. So
is that something you had a hand in? Did you say sorry?
what's that, sorry?
Is that something you had a hand in to the fire pit or?
Yes, I made the 3D model of it basically, and then made the laser cutting files, and then they like welded it together. So
Wow. Oh, that is like
That is-
proper everything designing.
I was going to say, hopefully not a literal hand into the fire pit, because it would hurt.
Yeah, good point. Guess so, yeah.
Cheers for that.
So do you feel like you've learned a lot this year? Like, have you learned, like, are you glad you've taken this year out?
Yeah, 100%. I would like recommend it to anyone. Just take the year and just, even if it's just a reset and preparing yourself for third year, you're going to get more out of it than just going straight in after your second year. I feel like had I have done that, I would have felt maybe a bit like burnt out already
that's
going
true.
into third year.
Yeah.
So like starting again with almost a fresh slate and a new eye for design, I think would be really helpful.
Yeah, no, we've said that before, haven't we? That taking a placement year is definitely beneficial. It's something we have promoted quite a lot because we're quite biased in this room, as we have all taken, apart from Tom. Sorry, Tom. But but it's a bit harder in your degree subject to take a placement year.
Well, I didn't have my mic on. I'm out of the loop today. So, yeah, all my placements were like nothing to do with my course really. From what I heard, from what I saw, and what I heard from other people. There was like a lot of placements for like car dealerships. Like, why am I going to go
car
there?
dealerships?
Yeah.
Doing the radio.
For the listeners at home, remind people what you do as a degree.
Sports journalism.
And let's put Tom in a car
dealership.
dealership.
Got to do with it.
Sports cars.
They're all sports cars.
Yeah.
I don't care about. I don't learn about that. I write about football, not about sports cars. But yeah, like, I mean, if you find a placement that's good for you and beneficial for you and your course and what you want to do, then by all means, I wish I had that.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it kind of depends on the person.
It does.
I've spoken to quite a few people who've said stuff like they almost maybe potentially had the idea of going into sort of a placement year, but they're sort of disillusioned with university and just learning. So they've gone into third year just to simply get it over with. Yeah. Because like, well, I've done 2 years now. There's no point dropping out because then everything I've done, like even if I do it one more another year and I just don't like it, I've still got a degree out of it and I've still got like something to say I've been to university. Whereas if I just drop out now, it's a bit. That's
a little bit what I was thinking of as well. Like I was kind of like, I just want to get out of education. Yeah. I'm sick of it.
That's true.
So get through these 3 years quick as can, and then
go from there.
Do whatever I need to do out there. Yeah,
that makes sense.
It does. But it sounds like it's worked really well for you in this case.
Yeah,
I feel quite lucky.
I think a lot of us are really jealous as well of like the placement you've had and stuff. And I know it's like looked well upon like within the uni as well as like something that you've done.
Yeah, Dean's robbing us for those videos.
It's a good experience, I guess. Well, it is good.
It is good experience because it's something that you'll be able to use after uni, and you'll be like, I can get a job. I've worked with this company. You'll get good references as well.
I hope so.
That's really good. When do you finish with them? Is it soon?
Next week.
Oh my god!
Next Tuesday is
you having like a bash? You having a leaving party?
I'm not sure. I mean, I've been invited to the Christmas do, which is nice.
Have you?
But yeah, I wouldn't have thought so. I think. I mean, it's not going to be cut ties, never speak to them again. I'll be doing bits throughout summer remotely, and you know, we both said we want to like continue the working relationship.
Yeah.
But to what extent that goes, I don't know.
It's like figuring that out, isn't it?
Yeah. Almost like a contract work, or sort of like not a 0-hour contract, but sort of like when they want it. Yeah, literally freelance. Yeah. But
you'll be like, I'll make you lights, but give me money.
So as people, sort of regular listeners know, what we'll do every episode is we'll do a sort of quick fire icebreaker with the guest to sort of set everyone at ease, and it's a bit of fun, a bit of creativity, and it's just a little sort of fun question that we enjoy to do. And if you have sort of an answer at home which you sort of think, oh, actually very, very proud of this answer, you really like this idea, please message us and tell us what it is, because we'd love to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So Ethan, your icebreaker. If you, for everyone at home as well, if you could have a superpower, what superpower would you have?
Well, I've been mulling this over, and I feel like I've gone through the more obvious ones like flying and super speed and stuff. But for me, I don't know if it's a bit niche, but when I was like in high school, I really liked the Green Lantern comics.
Okay.
And Green Lantern's power, basically, for anyone who doesn't know, he's got like essentially a magic ring, and he can create constructs just from his mind. So like anything he thinks of, he can create. And what I like about that is that it's limited really just by someone's creativity. So the more creative you are, the more powerful you are.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really cool sort of concept.
Good idea, yeah.
I don't know what the Green Lantern is, so it's good that you said that. So, like, for example, if we used it in the product design world, you'd be like a prototype of a speaker, and then
I
you'd
think
be
they're
like,
temporary, but
oh, so it doesn't come in front of you.
yeah, it does. I mean, he usually just like creates something and then hits someone with
Yeah.
it. So I don't know, but yeah, like you start off and you make like a big hammer, and it's just like one thing.
Yeah.
And then he ends up making like tanks and stuff, and like
Guns
planes. And yeah, crazy stuff.
Used to help him fight evil. So,
Would you dress up as the Green Lantern?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. The Ryan Reynolds film, the CGI suit.
God, it's
I bet I'd rock that.
it's a film.
It is a film.
It's such.
It is a film.
It's one
One
of
of
the
the
films.
films.
It's a
ever
great
made.
film, yeah. Oh, it really is something.
I've never seen the film.
Yeah, that's good.
But is that a surprise? No. Say again.
What would your powers be?
Oh.
Go on, Becky.
Oh, throwing it back
powers.
to the room.
Superpower.
No, because I'm just going to start waffling on about what I'd be. So I'm going to hand it to you first, and then I'll go.
Me.
Yeah, because I need to think about it.
I honestly don't know. I didn't even think about when I was in secondary school, it was a question I used to ask people a lot. And I used to sort of every week or so, I sort of say to my friends, like, "Hey, you know, superpower, what superpower do you be? What would you cry by your name be?" And it was some stupid little questions like that. And I remember one of my friends said, like, "Stop asking us this question." Like, genuinely came to me and said, "Stop asking us. It's so annoying. Stop it."
That's really sad.
Yeah, it is
That's
really
like
sad.
broken my heart.
No, yeah, no, it's sad. It's sad.
Oh,
sad
that I
it's
was-
sad.
It's
You
sad.
needed
That is the
superpower
real.
of just reading the room.
Yeah. Yeah, social adeptness. That's the superpower I want.
Aw.
I don't know.
Invisibility,
Yeah, probably stop time maybe.
Oh, that's a good one.
like Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain. That's my impression. That's strange.
It's good.
Thank you.
Oh,
So
okay.
yours would be invisibility.
I don't know.
What would it be again? I reckon.
Um.
Cool.
I'm thinking. This is me thinking.
Okay, Tom, do you have an idea?
I got one. Yeah. Teleportation, I think.
Oh.
Imagine I was like,
That'd
"Oh,
be
Tom,
sick."
come for drinks. I won't have to get an Uber. I won't have to get an Uber
Yeah.
home.
Oh,
if
so
I'm-
true.
If I'm leaving Dempsey's at 7 a.m. when it's bright outside and I'm pissed, I can teleport back to my flat.
Yeah.
Come on, that's
Well,
ideal.
If you can stop time. Oh, hi, what drink do you want? No, thank you. I'll go behind the bar. I'll make myself a drink.
Oh yeah.
So either alcoholism or efficiency.
Yeah.
Okay. I could also rob places.
You could.
I wouldn't do that.
Oh, I
'cause
like that
I'm not a
idea.
robber, but-
Wait.
I love robbing places.
Yeah.
I could-
I love that idea.
Think of
I
like.
could teleport into the room of money they have at every bank, you know,
Yeah.
with a big safe with a
Yeah.
comedically large twist on it.
Yeah, we're talking
Take all
about
the money out
Yeah.
and then teleport home. I'm like, look at me, I'm rich.
They should. I think they should
like
do
that.
that. I think me and Tom were mentioning this the other day. We think in every I think in every single bank they'll have like a back room which is like, "Oh, Jenny, it's your turn in the back room," and she's like, "Okay, thank you," and she like gets a key, unlocks the room, locks it after her, and it's just filled with money. So she just gets onto the line and
goes
goes,
swimming.
oh.
Like that Breaking Bad clip.
Yeah, when they're lying
When
on the back of them. And
Huel falls
yeah.
back onto the money.
Yeah.
I think that's in every single bank room. So
Has like a stress relief, like
Yeah.
rage room kind
Yeah.
of thing, but with money.
yeah. They used to do it with coins, but then it kind of hurt. So.
Yeah.
Like, you know how Scrooge
Shrapnel.
McDuck
Yeah,
like
he dives
go,
into the coins.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not real. Don't do that.
Is it not real?
No.
What the fuck?
People at home don't dive into pools of money.
Or if you have the money, do it. And send
I
it
send
our
the videos
way.
in to
Yes.
TallTales
Send us the money.
Online.
Send the videos in.
Please, I'd be intrigued.
Well, once Ethan's got his outdoor light up and running, he'll be racking in the money, I reckon, from
Sure.
Nigel Tyas.
I'll let you all have a dive in it.
Yeah, thank you. In your pool, in your big mansion that you use with all this money. I love that.
So Becky, your superpower.
Oh, my superpower. Still thinking. Invisibility.
Okay. What would you do with this power?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, what would we all do
Rob
with
the
the
bank.
power? Okay.
We all
clear
have
that-
very similar
Ideas,
goals.
yeah.
It's like get rich.
Get rich quick scheme.
Yeah.
It's like those pyramid schemes.
My
With no-
superpower is running a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, that's a good idea actually.
Yeah.
So what would
Yeah.
you use your Green Lantern powers to be able to just everyday living or?
General
impress Dean.
tomfoolery, to be honest.
Tomfoolery.
I don't know. It'd just be a neat little power to have.
Hmm.
You know, with the benefit of hindsight, I don't think I really thought of any applications. I just thought, oh, that'd
Fair
be
enough.
cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. Make like a little green plane. You
Yeah,
could
that
fly
is the
to
problem.
Thailand.
It'd have to be green.
You could be another lantern though.
It could be Blue Lantern.
Yeah.
Is that a person?
Yeah, blue.
Let's hope.
Blue Beetle.
Blue's hope. Yeah, pink's love.
Avatar.
Purple's wisdom. Is it?
Compassion.
Compassion. Red's anger. Orange is jealousy, or is it sort of
like greed.
greed? Yeah. Oh, avarice. Yeah.
There's loads
then-
of different lanterns.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
yellow's fear.
Where's this law come from?
DC.
It's DC.
Green Lantern.
I've got another question. I'm trying to find it. Look at this.
So Ethan, over the past few months,
He beat me to it.
Over the past few months, you've been working with sort of 3D design and working with 3D printers. How does, like, as sort of a novice?
He has his own 3D printer as well.
I know. I've seen it.
Oh,
I've
sorry.
seen it.
Sorry.
Thank you very much. I know all about design. So, as someone who knows nothing about design, can you tell us like how do 3D printers work? Sort of like how you go from nothing to making something.
I think it's mainly software, to be honest. I use a program called SolidWorks, which allows you to create like digital 3D geometry, and it's basically just put it into another program, and the printer's smart enough to figure it out, I suppose. I mean, I've never done anything crazy with it, but it's been really useful to just make little prototypes and see how things fit together and stuff like that.
It's a good investment, a 3D printer.
Yeah.
Something that you can have for life.
Yeah. Well, you see like things I think on TikTok where they're making like food with it. It's just like what?
Making
Like,
food with
yeah,
3D
they put like
printer.
food in the not in every 3D printer, but it's like certain 3D printers. But like they made like burgers and make like food with it.
Oh, these 3D printers are called microwaves, aren't they?
Yeah, it's like insane. Like what? I mean, yeah, you can make food with 3D printers.
I was joking about the microwave thing, by the way.
Oh. Well, I don't know what they're called, but they're generally 3D printers that like.
I don't know if
will
you're
print
being
food. No,
serious.
genuinely.
I've not seen this.
Wait,
Yeah.
so do you put the code into SolidWorks and then, or like a FoodWorks, and then
Yeah.
It just-
Solid food works.
do you mean? Are you talking about Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
Am I the only one who's seen
Smog
this?
or whatever.
I don't think that's real food, Angus.
I
It's real food.
It can't be.
Yeah, yeah, it's real food. It genuinely is.
I think
I'll
we're
show you
gonna have
after
to
the-
check up on this.
Please do, but it is real, genuinely. I've seen it food.
I've seen it food.
I've seen it food.
I've seen it like
Food.
not food. I've just seen it like 3D models, like the very like big thing that came. I remember the first thing of 3D printing is when they started 3D printing people's heads,
Sorry.
like lookalikes,
Oh, right, yeah.
Like
With the 3D scan.
3D scanner, and like they're like creating like celebrity lookalikes and stuff, instead of like you know you've got Madame Tussauds,
Yeah.
wax models, 3D print them.
Oh.
Like you can do that. That's the very first thing I remember ever 3D printers. And then I remember in secondary school they bought a 3D printer. It was only a little one, and he let us all have a go at it. And I didn't know how to use the software. I can't remember what the software was, but it had already pre-organized, like pre-made shapes. So you basically just stuck them all together.
Is it Tinkercad?
That's it, Tinkercad. And I made this obscene-looking duck thing with hands. And he was like, I am not wasting school money printing that, Becky. It had glasses, it had little hands. It was great. It was truly brilliant.
If you've still got the file, I'll print it for you next
Oh,
year.
thanks. I
Next
could probably
year,
just
in a
make
few
it on
months.
Tinkercad again.
Yeah.
Because it's all like the pre-made shapes. Do you use Tinkercad for it? No, SolidWorks.
Yeah, it is just SolidWorks. I've used a little bit of Fusion 360 as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So have you learnt a lot in the regards of using SolidWorks this year and stuff?
100%. I mean, one of the big things about my placement has been not just developing new products, but also creating a digital catalogue of like the previous ones as well.
For your portfolio.
Yeah.
We like that word here.
Yeah, it's a word we love using. Get it in the
I
portfolio.
think every episode.
Yeah.
We're mad on the word, the portfolio word.
Yeah. That's good though that you've got a whole build up of stuff. Like you've got a rapport.
I mean, what?
Do you ever listen or learn anything we tell you?
Yeah.
Wait, is it rapport?
Rapport.
Oh,
Oh,
No
I can't
L. There's no L.
I'm
in
not
that
coming
word.
back next week.
Yeah.
RuPaul.
Yeah. that's what I
Yeah.
said last time.
RuPaul, yeah.
RuPaul, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you've got like a good, as you've said, back catalogue of things that you can use for in the future. But you've also learned a lot, which is good. For people that don't know what SolidWorks is, what is SolidWorks?
It's like a 3D modelling program, so you can create you make a sketch on a plane and then like extrude it out basically to make it 3D, and you can use a load of different tools to create 3D geometry.
Oh, it's kind of like obviously you said you're like if you had a superpower of the Green Lantern. It's kind of similar in that regard. Like
Absolutely.
3D printing, you can. It's the only limit is like sort of what you can think of, your own imagination, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's like the whole. Obviously, I mentioned food, and you guys are not aware of that. But it's like when I think it was, I don't know. It was like, was it superficial arteries they made for like people with hearts
and
stuff?
stents and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
So stuff like
it's
that.
coming into there's actually a degree, a master's program that you can do. It's like health and product design or something, or like medicine and product design or whatever. And it's like basically like learning about 3D printing stents and using like all this technology to our advantage to be able to improve modern day healthcare.
Wow.
Basically.
That's amazing.
Because it will come into play eventually. Because I don't know what they use for stents at the minute and stuff. But
I mean, they've been looking at using stem cells and printing with
Oh.
human cells themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a few years ago that I looked into it, but they were looking at doing like dense organs, not hollow ones, so like kidneys as opposed to a heart or a lung. Because for anyone who does 3D printing, if you have anything hollow, you need support material inside. And I can imagine it's difficult to get that out of a lung. So, yeah, they just sort of do the more solid bodies, basically.
Yeah. We'll see.
we'll all go one bit robotic one day.
Yeah.
I reckon.
How long do you think it'll take for us to get to that point?
Give it 5 years.
5 years. you reckon?
Not long, I reckon.
Apple are going to take over.
Yeah, with
Tim Cook.
Tim Cook. I was gonna say Nick Cook. Well, it's kind of the whole like AI. Oh, we're getting into this now.
Oh yeah, it's like AI.
Yeah.
What do you think of AI?
I think AI is really useful. For me, I'm just trying to put a pinpoint on like how long it'll be until it gets to the point where everyone is afraid that it'll get.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be sooner than we think. I reckon like in the next 10 years it'll have developed so much, because now that stuff like ChatGPT has been seen by so many people, companies will want to put money in it, I would
That's
imagine.
true.
And it'll just go quicker and quicker.
Do you think people such as designers will lose jobs because of AI? depending in what sort of background. So like service design maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if it's the design of a process and it's something that's designed to be as efficient as possible, I think so, yeah. But I don't think you can automate creativity,
No.
to be honest. I think creativity is something that will never be...
It's personal, isn't it?
Yeah, like you can't really simulate it.
No.
So I think we're safe for a while.
Maybe
Yeah.
we're just all in a big simulation.
Good stuff. I'm sure when Angus thought of doing this podcast, this is what he envisioned happening on it.
Maybe AI is becoming part of that. And we're soon learning.
Beep boop beep boop.
Oh, it's sooner than we thought.
Kill all humans. Kill humans. Just kidding.
Sound like a Dalek.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. So obviously, Ethan, you're a designer, but are there any other types of art and design that you wanna maybe try, or anything you've already tried and it isn't 3D printing?
Yeah, I mean, 3D printing has its limits, you know?
Yeah.
I think I know on other episodes you've spoken about lockdown and how that kind of messed up our first year a bit. And for me, when I went to the open day, they said the first year is about getting in the workshop, getting creative, making things. And because we sort of missed out on that, it's not ever really been picked back up by the uni. They've been like, oh, this is how you use a bandsaw, but it's not great. So I think throughout this summer, I'm going to try and get in the workshops and like do all the physical stuff. I want to try woodwork. I want to try like vacuum forming. I want to try some more metal stuff, and get like a better view of all the different things I have at my disposal for my third year.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
No, that is good. It's good you've got the motivation to do that as well. I feel like you're a very driven person in that area, and you're very proactive about that sort of stuff. Yeah, because I know, well, for myself, I feel like this year I've just been like, it's kind of Australia, and then just like exploded, and I'm like, I can't be bothered now. So I'd like to have that ounce of, what do you call it? Like
Push, like drive.
Yeah,
to
like drive to go into the workshop and stuff, but people have got busy summers, you know.
I think you guys have kind of been like, from the outside, it's I've been a bit sort of like, I feel very bad for them, because like you sort of did this project and then it finished in December, and then you kind of like, I don't really know what I'm doing now.
Yeah, that's
And,
true.
like, so
And it's
you
been
kind of
going
have
on
to make
since
do.
last April.
Yeah, and that's just kind of, it's insane.
Yeah,
If pardon my language.
but it's all right.
Yeah.
We're coming towards the end of it now. Are you excited for final year?
Yes,
Are you
absolutely.
Are you excited to get it done?
I'm excited to get in a new house and
Oh yeah,
be with new people.
with all your favourite people.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, a lot of these guys have lived together before, but I'm sort of new to the group, joining the fray, which I'm really excited about. I've only lived with like, the maximum I've lived with is 5 people, so
It's gonna be
Uh-oh.
yeah, a bit few more than that.
Yeah, 5 to 11 is a massive
Yeah.
jump.
Well,
yeah,
3 to 11 from this year to.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah. I suppose we're used to it in a way.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, because we're at 8 now, so.
yeah, because I have a friend, and when I would go over to her house, she'd live with 2 other lads, and it'd be quiet, and I'm like, this is so weird. I was like, this is just like utterly bizarre. And then
Yeah.
you come back to ours, it's just so loud.
Always loud.
It's always loud. Like, you need to be prepared for like. It'll be all right though. It's like a big unconventional family. If we had cameras,
Angus is
you'd
about
see
to
it.
leave the building, ladies and gentlemen.
He's just taking his headphone off, and
He's
he's
quit.
currently walking out.
His own podcast.
Let's put Becky up for adoption.
nice.
Yeah, he's put me up for adoption.
Yeah, second
Charming.
thoughts.
Yeah, no, it'll be good though. It will be good. Yeah, I suppose we've not spoken to someone who isn't actually like in the house about it like already. So you're kind of like an outsider, but we've known you for years. Like
Yeah.
we've known through uni. So
7 years.
Yeah, 7 or 8.
7 years.
not quite. When did you first meet Ethan?
About 4 years ago.
4 or 5. Or...
Yeah. Yeah.
Shut
It was back in Leeds, mate. You wouldn't get it.
I wouldn't get it. You're one of the originals.
I remember. It was in second year in the first week. I'd just done a shift as a student ambassador at Leadmill for a society brand, and I'd just come back to the house and I was exhausted, and then we found out that there was mice in the house, and then you were just like, I was like, hey. Like, I didn't know who you were, and I was like, oh hey, you're like, I'm Ethan. I'm like, oh Angus. They're looking for mice.
I'm the pest controller.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I completely... Yeah, because I think I've got a video of you stabbing... Oh no, it's Billy stabbing down the back of the sofa, but you were just like stood there like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Was that probably one of the first times you came over, actually?
Yeah, first or second, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
my
crazy.
days. That seems like forever ago as well.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Oh wow.
So, as people know at home, we have a segment every week where this random woman walks into someone's life and they offer them a big bag of money. And we like to call this segment Becky the Stranger. So, Ethan, it's your turn this week. I'm going to set the scene and then I want you to tell me what you do with the money, okay? So, imagine you're sat in the workshop. You've got Carlos, Dean, Jackie, they're all lurking, you know. There's a flickering light in the corner, and then there's someone just stood there with a bowler hat, a briefcase, and a cane in a suit, and and then there's a big gush of air, and you're just happily getting along. You're just hitting some metal, vacuum forming, you know. And then I walk in, I go, yo, Ethan, I have a proposal.
I thought you were already in the room.
Oh shit, yeah.
It's like a red blinking light or something.
Walks back in.
She
Yeah.
walked back out, realised she forgot what she wanted to say.
I've
Then
got to make an
realised
entrance.
when
Got to
she
make an
got out.
entrance, and then a gush of air comes in.
I've got the monocle.
Yeah.
We got the monocle. Got the monocle. I'm back. I'm at your workbench. I'm like leaning. I'm like towering over you. Just picture it, and you're like, ooh, I'm scared. And then I go, I've given you $5 billion. You have to pursue a creative path in life. You can do whatever you want, and you've got to pitch to me, and I will say whether you can have the money or not. So what would you do with that $5 billion at your disposal?
Well, can I just say the world building on that has been the best I've heard so far.
Good, isn't it? She really paints a picture.
I'll probably pay you.
Yeah. Have half the money.
Thanks. No one's ever said that.
Shut up.
Yeah, in terms of projects, I don't know. I've always thought of design as like a means to help people, as much as like designing for business and for retail and
Yeah.
you know, lowering costs and stuff is interesting. I'd want to put something in place for like to try and help people. So what avenue that would be, I don't know if it'd be like putting a system in place to help people get water or food or education, which I know is a fairly boring answer, but
No, fair enough.
I think that's probably what I try and make a difference with it, I think.
Yeah. That's kind of similar to the answer I gave where I said elderly people because it's sad that they're alone.
Yeah.
And it's like helping someone, isn't it? So would it be like a creative way you'd maybe go down that route? Like would
Yeah.
it be something like, do you say water?
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
like
anything really. I think it would have to be creative for me to want to continue
Yeah.
pursuing it, and not just like build it up and sell it or whatever you would do.
it'd be your own brand and business.
Yeah, I think so. But something that people would look to and like see as a good thing,
Yeah.
as opposed to, you know, you look at like Primark, like, you're not like filled with
That's-
wholesomeness.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
I think that'd be nice.
Is there any would you like to collab with anyone? Like, would there be like a dream collab that you could work on this Philippe Stark?
Maybe. I don't know. I guess I'd need some endorsement from some big names.
Alpkit.
Tim Cook.
Tim Cook.
I'd maybe just get people who look kind of similar to me. I'd be ringing up like Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh yeah, Elijah
Ewan
Wood.
McGregor.
Ewan McGregor, yeah. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, get him on the line as well. All three of them.
Yeah.
You'd make a right trio. Quadruplet.
Wait, so are these 4 people?
Yeah.
Ethan, Daniel Radcliffe, Ewan McGregor, and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I
Is that the 4 people
and
you
Harry
see?
Potter as well.
And-
Yeah, and Harry Potter.
So 5,
Five
actually.
of us, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Wow.
know what that is, though, in numbers.
Quintuplet.
Yeah, quintuplets.
Yeah. 5. The famous 5.
See, they'd all have different powers. Like, Daniel Radcliffe would have...
Good acting.
the
Same with Ewan McGregor.
No, Harry Potter, he'd have his, like,
Yeah, his
magic
magic.
wand. And then, like, Obi-Wan Kenobi would have his
magic.
lightsaber.
I'd have my Green Lantern ring.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have the green ring.
It's like a boy band, that.
Yeah.
And then, like, Ewan McGregor has his singing skills.
Yeah.
Then who else did you say?
Daniel
Obi-Wan
Radcliffe.
Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi would have
Here's
his
his singing skills.
lightsaber.
Same with
Daniel
Ewan
Radcliffe.
He has
McGregor.
the high ground.
Yeah. Well, so does Daniel Radcliffe. Because he did Weird Al one, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he can sing. I don't know about Harry Potter, but
Maybe.
we don't know. But yeah. So what? 4 of them can sing.
Yeah.
That's what it is, isn't it, really?
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
The other
you've
one
created a
is
boy
kinda
band.
cute.
Yeah.
Can you
let's
sing?
Take that.
No.
Can you
Oh.
play the triangle?
I used to play drums.
Well, there we go.
Oh,
Perfect.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
A drummer and 4 singers.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you're gonna solve world hunger.
That's a pretty big hook for a band, to be fair.
Yeah. Wow. Who don't want to endorse that?
Yeah, exactly. Wow, we've just created something great there.
Like, we're not the Arctic Monkeys, but we will solve world hunger. So.
Yeah. Just saying.
Wow, we should get them on the line.
Well, the Arctic
Daniel,
Monkeys.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ewan McGregor. Who else was it?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, if you're listening.
Come to the TallTales Podcast studio.
Yeah, we're in Cantor and Ethan wants to talk.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Ah.
You're gonna solve world hunger. Come down. That's right.
And if you don't, well, you're just a nasty
It's quite
person.
mean, yeah.
Just gaslight them into coming over.
Yeah, it's just not very nice, is it?
It's not very nice, no.
Obi-Wan Kenobi just sort of swinging his lightsaber, making making weird noises. Harry Potter going Accio music. Good band, innit?
Is it usually like this?
Yes, yeah.
It was last week, that's for sure.
It was interesting last week.
Yeah.
Talking of last week, so let's talk about the TallTales prompt.
Oh, the TallTales prompt. Yeah.
Oh, I'm nervous for this.
No.
So last week a couple weeks ago actually, myself was on the podcast and we were talking about things of beauty, and my thing of beauty, because I was slightly unprepared, was that I liked gigs in the summertime, and I've recently just been to see Arctic Monkeys, and Ethan has also just been to see Arctic Monkeys.
Oh, yeah.
I had the best time of my life. Did you have the best time of your life?
It's incredible.
It was great. I loved it. Live, laugh, loving in Alex Turner's presence.
Did you have a lot of mosh pits at yours?
No, not a single mosh pit.
Really?
Didn't see anyone moshing.
Were
Did you?
Close or?
We were like, when I saw a video, I thought we were quite far back.
Right.
But then I saw this video on TikTok, because around the stadium there's hotels, so people were staying in these hotels and just watching the gig.
No way.
And I didn't realise till we were leaving, they were all filming us because we were all packed in like a herd of cows trying to get out, and they were just all filming us and laughing. And then I saw a video on TikTok and it was like the whole overview. We were actually quite close in comparison. We had people back, like there was screens like kind of I don't know my fractions here, maybe like a third of the way back from the stage.
Right.
Yeah.
And we were like stood near these screens, and then like it went all the way back. So in your answer to that, kind of,
Okay.
we weren't at the front. We weren't as close as what you and Caitlin were, but we could see Alex Turner.
Becky's answer to the question, were there any mosh pits, was, yeah, we were quite far back. There you go.
I'm circling back round to that. No, there were no mosh pits.
Right.
How far back were you? You were quite close.
Yeah, we were fairly close.
Could you smell him?
What?
I mean, I always pretty strong smelling guys. So. No, yeah, we had loads of mosh pits. and
Really?
The issue was that they would do it to like slower songs.
Cornerstone.
Yeah, like yes, to Cornerstone.
They were mosh pitting. That just ruins it.
Who
The
the
issue, yeah, exactly.
fuck is mosh pit into the cornerstone of all songs?
Well, it was for the when he like proper enunciates Cornerstone and he goes,
Yeah.
"I saw your sister in the Cornerstone."
Cornerstone, yeah.
It was that bit, but they did it like 2 verses too early. So for most of it, there was just a circle in the middle of the crowd, like pushing backwards.
Yeah.
I was stood like this with Caitlin, trying with my arms around Caitlin,
And
trying to
yeah.
stop her from getting trampled.
Yeah.
And yeah, people were just like stood in a circle waiting and just kind of dancing in the middle. And probably every song aside from a couple of the newer ones, they did it. It must have just been like a couple of.
They were like, nah, we'll mosh pit to
annoying
Cornerstone,
people.
but not Better Be a Mirror Ball or Sculptures of
Yeah.
Anything Goes. Yeah,
Yeah.
great. Did you get involved in the mosh pit?
No,
Oh.
No.
not really nice.
No, it's not for me
Maybe if
either.
it had been like once or twice and it was for some of like the big ones.
Like Brian Storm or...
He did a bet that you look good on the dance floor at the
Oh.
end, so
Oh, yeah.
that could have been good,
Yeah.
but it just
Sometimes
No,
ruined it for people,
that's
yeah.
true.
I
It does, yeah.
it just starts with like 1 or 2 people being
Silly.
completely like apathetic and throwing their entire
Yeah.
body weight on someone else,
Yeah.
and you know it just sort of happens.
What song did they open with?
God, I can't remember. I have no idea.
Old Lang Syne.
Featuring Frank Ocean.
Throwback that.
Classic. But what I was trying to get at with the whole beauty thing and talking about gigs is for people who don't know, should get to know, on Angus's TallTales online Instagram, he puts out a prompt every month for people who are maybe just feeling a little bit of creative. Say for us product designers, we're not necessarily, you know, like we want to try something else. So Angus puts out a prompt every month for people to basically do this and to send in. And every guest that we get on has a go at it on the podcast. So this month is beauty. So I believe Ethan has done something. Would you like to explain a little bit about it and
Yeah.
why you chose to do this? And you can share it to the listeners at home.
I've been listening to some of the previous episodes and I heard Vic's poem and how Angus writes poetry. I was thinking about it and I've not written a poem since primary school, I don't think. And I used to really enjoy it from what I remember. But what I really enjoyed was rhyming and finding a way to tell something coherent through like finding rhyming words basically. Then I thought about the prompt and you know, beauty to me isn't something I think about much on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But I know that it's massively important to everyone to some capacity.
Yeah.
And I sort of found that to be personified in my mind. So I wrote the poem about it.
I love
Fantastic,
that.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, take it away when you're
Yeah.
ready. Take as
It's-
much time as you need.
It's a bit dark,
It's all right.
but
That's fine.
we'll see how
It's
it
how
goes.
you've perceived
definitely,
it.
yeah.
That's the beautiful thing.
So the poem is called The Eye. The scrutinous glare reflects back with sorrow, knowing makeup, again, would just mask her tomorrow. Though working with children was truly her passion, she was busy creating the next hottest fashion. On Insta she'd brag and she'd seek validation from tutors and students and from the whole nation. But penitent and guilty, she alone saw the lie, that she could not escape her own judgmental eye. The couple were promised, through marital verse, in richness, in poorness, for better, for worse, but the years had escaped them, they'd run out of time, and sinister thoughts tarnished virtuous minds. His wrinkles betrayed the bold life they'd been leading. His stomach was swelling, his hairline receding. In her wheelchair she'd become just one more boring chore. He couldn't sense beauty or love anymore. They'd bicker and squabble and get bitter and colder, and grow weaker and tired and older, till on her deathbed she would cry and he'd hold her. And they'd look back on life and he'd rest on her shoulder. His realization would be the last thing that he told her. Our love could not flee the eye of the beholder. And the eye looks and it laughs, and it looks even more at that one misplaced hair, at that one little paw. It burns at our skin with deluded elation, but the eye shoots wide open with a stark revelation. That the skin does not harbour a person's complexion, it is simply a tool upon further inspection. One's makeup, it seems, is made in their mind, how they fill up their daydreams, how they spend their free time, and that beauty is cruel and conniving and sly, but it's for you to define, not that blind, vicious eye.
Wow. That was amazing.
That was really good. Yeah, that was.
I didn't know you had a keen eye for poetry.
Wow.
Wasn't sure I did.
You do, yeah.
No,
It's
you
amazing.
do. The words just rolled off your tongue. That was.
Yeah, like I was incredible. Like, I think a lot of people find rhyming hard, and that was really well done. Yeah,
Thanks.
Wow. We'll definitely feature that on the
yeah.
Instagram.
Definitely, yeah.
Is it those two sides? Can I have a look?
I mean, I just wrote it out
Wow. How long did this take you to do?
about 2.5 hours.
Oh my gosh.
I did it on Monday night when I got home from work.
That is stunning.
That's amazing.
Maybe you've just found yourself a new career path.
Definitely.
Poetry.
No, I mean,
Give Angus Spencer a run for his money.
yeah, because I think genuinely designers are probably one of the most creative people I've ever met.
Oh, stop
Genuinely,
it, you.
I think most of them, just no, like all of you have met. It's just so like, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna draw a picture, and then draw like, the most beautiful picture. I'm like, that's the best thing I've ever seen. It's like you should be on an illustration course, not product design. But it's amazing. Like, you're all so annoyingly creative.
I think design's a broad
Yeah,
spectrum for so many different things. So I think like people are talented at more things than like say others. Like people have their strengths and their weaknesses.
Yeah.
And you can like, I think that's been good in uni. Like we've learnt a little bit about everything. Learning be strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a bit of it.
Yeah, a bit of everything, haven't we? Like I've definitely learnt. Well, I'd like to think I've learnt a lot of stuff because it's a lot of money. But but yeah, no, I think you dabble in all different areas of things, and that it kind of gives you this broad spectrum to like look out onto different sort of things, and it gives you a big open mindset when it comes to finding a job, hopefully at the end of it.
Different pathways where you can go. And
what are your plans for after uni? What do you think you're going to do?
God, I have no idea at the moment. I feel like third year will really define where I want to go. But I'm also not sure that a role is out there that I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Because I do a little bit of everything. It's not really one like whole thing. It's just like a bit of this and that, I suppose. So to answer your question, I have no idea.
Don't know. Yeah.
Honestly, fair enough.
I don't think any of us
no
know
one really
either.
knows, yeah.
No one really knows. It's a long way, and I think a lot can change in a year.
Yeah.
Maybe poetry.
Maybe,
I was going to say,
maybe,
go for it.
maybe you'll do entering slam poetry competitions.
Slam poetry.
And just start.
I mean, this was like I'd say this is more based on like my high school like English learning than it has been on any of my design. Because it was like the eye is like I sort of saw it as this monstrous creature which like stares at people and makes them feel uncomfortable and blah blah blah. And I tried to like embody how that could corrupt people and make them feel uncomfortable and make them view each other in worse ways. But I thought a nicer spin on it would be in the final sort of stanza that the eye realises that the underlying message is beauty is skin deep,
Wow.
and it's more about like what's inside.
There's so much thought that has gone into that as well.
Mm.
Like, it's a very thoughtful. Like, you can tell that's taken you a while. Like, there's been a lot of effort that's gone into that, and it's stunning. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Maybe you should read it out on your Instagram.
Should go for it, basically.
Or you could send us a reading and we'll post it on
Yeah,
our
we'll post it,
Instagram.
Maybe you guys can read it.
Angus can read it.
I think Becky.
Let me just
What are
have
you
a
planning
look.
on doing after uni?
We think we're doing the same thing.
PGCE, maybe.
I'm not
Which
doing that.
is
Or teaching.
right.
Or my current, we'll check back in a year to see what I'm doing. But at the minute, my idea is look for jobs. If I can't get a job, I will go and do a PGCE, I think. Because I want to do it either now or later on in life. I would rather have a job in this field, but it's finding it. For example, last year I would have said I'd like a job in service design,
Right.
but I don't know if I want that anymore. Do you know what I mean? Or do I do a master's in service design? But then it's finding a program that does that sort of suited to you, or is it better to just go into it head on? Do you know what I mean?
I suppose, yeah.
Or I don't know, because I haven't had the experience in service design this year. I like the whole process of it, and because I feel like that is something that is needed nowadays. Is services. You can have a service for everything.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything in the world needs a service, but it's just finding a job like WhatsApp. That'd be cool. Like working for a big company like that. But I don't know. If not PGCE, and I'll be a
Definitely,
teacher,
yeah.
and then I'll go from there.
Yeah.
Because I've always said as well, I'll be a teacher one day. The reason I got into product design was I said to my product design teacher, I said, one day I'm coming back for your job. And I'm going to stick by that. But yeah, because he was the one that made my love for it. But I definitely want to stick in this industry. There's not one shadow of a doubt.
I had a fairly similar experience with a teacher and product design. Because in high school I hadn't done it. I didn't take it for GCSE. And I took it sort of on a whim in college. And I had a tutor, and he was massively supportive. And he wrote the book.
Yeah.
Literally. So the product design textbook, his name is on the front of that.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. So he was obviously very passionate about it.
Yeah.
And I'd done a mock exam,
Yeah.
which is the one that my actual result ended up being based on. But yeah, and he gave me it back, and it was an A star, and I was like, oh, mad. And he looked at me and he went, I read one of your answers in this and it made me cry.
Really? What?
Wow.
That's mad.
Jesus.
And he was like, yeah, because it was just dead on, it's exactly what we wanted
Wow.
to see.
Fantastic.
And he's probably never had that ever.
Yeah.
So he was like, whoa.
Yeah, so that was really shocking to me. But
Yeah.
for the month or two that we actually got left of college or sixth form or whatever, I was trying to hammer down on my project, and I needed one more day to do it before lockdown. So it was the 18th that our college said to students, you don't have to come in now. If you want to, you can, but you don't have to. So and I think the 19th and 20th were the Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
And on the 20th I came in and I had one router file to do. I was making a cake carrier for my sister for
Oh,
a project.
amazing.
And I had one more router file and that would have been done. And I came in and they were like, oh, we're gonna take you all out for drinks. And I was like, okay, well, can I put the file on first? And they're like, no, we're not doing it. And I was like, that's really nice of you, but I want to finish my project.
Yeah.
And then lockdown happened. I went to uni, and it's never been done.
Oh my
Really?
gosh.
I know.
Would you go back and...
Yeah.
That's been another one of the things that I thought. Because I'm not particularly proud of any of my first and second year projects.
No.
I think I was, I wasn't with any course mates. I didn't really have anyone to talk to. I spoke to you guys a little bit.
Because, yeah, that's one of the things. It's when did we first meet? And I was like, I don't actually remember you from first year, but I remember messaging you.
I don't think I did meet you in first
No,
year.
because were you at home for first year?
I was at uni, but it was just with COVID and everything.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really excited to finally sort of meet the group
Yeah.
in first year for sure. In second year, sorry.
Yeah, because I remember the first time we were living in Wesley actually, so the whole of first year had passed. Still met Ethan, but messaging Ethan like, oh, have you done this? Because we were in group projects together, weren't we? And then I think we were like late to the first day of uni or something. She came and met me, and it was like we just like moved into Wesley House, and like I was just like, you were like, meet me at the church, and I was like, where is the church? I was like, I don't know where the church is, and it was tipping it down with rain. And
It was, yeah.
There you go. That's the story of how me and Ethan
Wow.
met.
I actually already knew that story, actually.
You already knew it?
Yeah, you told me.
Well, the listeners at home didn't know.
Sorry, yeah.
and now, all these years later, I'm on the TallTales
This podcast.
Yeah.
You are, and you're moving in with us
Who'd have
Yeah.
thought?
into a massive
Who'd have thunk
11. Who'd have thunk it indeed? And then, yeah, and the rest is history.
As they say, yeah.
As they say. Yeah, they do.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, Ethan.
Yeah, thank you,
We've
Ethan.
We've had a blast, yeah.
We have had a
Oh,
blast. We've
so-
learned a lot about
We
you.
have learned
3D printing,
3D printing.
making outdoor lights. You can write poetry.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that one.
Would you like to plug yourself? We will link stuff down below so
Yeah.
you don't have to read out like massive like LinkedIn links.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything to plug in particular. Hopefully, I'll be designing things soon
Yeah.
and cracking on with my third year project.
You'll have to keep us in the loop about what you do over summer with going into the
Yeah.
workshop and
I
stuff.
will. Well, Billy's already said that he wants to join me. For some
Oh,
of that.
really? Oh,
So
that'd be
I'd
good.
be happy to make that a group thing. And
Oh,
we can
yeah,
all,
that would be good. And we can post some stuff
we
on
can all have a
TallTales.
first year.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, we can. Make some TikToks.
Definitely. I mean, I won't be coming into the workshop.
Introduce
but
Angus into the workshop.
I've already been in the workshop.
Into the world of
Not the workshop. I've been in the
Sheaf. The building.
HPO. Yeah.
We have so much more to show you.
Oh, all right. Cheers.
So, yeah. Do you have an Instagram you want to know? No?
no.
That's all right.
Fair
That
enough.
is fine. Yeah,
Fair- that's
perfect.
fair enough. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on, Ethan. It's been a pleasure. Never a pain.
always
though.
pleasure, never pain.
Oh, yeah. Always a pleasure, never a pain. And we have been
The
the TallTales Podcast.